Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Ireland Bound. I've had a few little things that have kept me from filming. Um, if I can get a hold of one of them. Yes, I have been inundated with kittens. This is one of them. He actually has a home he's fixing to be going to. Still have two of them that need a home. I've ended up with five of them. And these guys have been like all over me. It's like I can't do hardly anything without them being there. I think I woke him up. Sorry, baby. I had to show you off. But yeah, and a couple months ago, I got five of those born under my bed. And now it's like I can't do anything without them all over me. And a lot of times they're just so active, it can't, it's kind of like, guys, calm down, calm down. Not to mention, Mama has been a little bit upset and uptight about a few things. So, y'all remember the last video whenever she got into a fight with the dog? Uh, she's been like that. So she's kind of calm now. And since she's calm and everybody's calm, I thought, okay, this is a good time to try and do a video. Hopefully, there will not be another attack. She's right here, and the dog is right here. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on both of them, making sure that nothing happens. But anyways, like I said, those little fur balls, they they keep me distracted. That's the honest truth. They're keeping me distracted. But anyways, on this video, uh, I wanted to do one more kind of in-depth family search into the Irish background. Uh, Following one of the lines that I had mentioned a while back, Margaret Campbell, I believe. Uh, I wanted to kind of go a little deeper into hers and show y'all a few things about that part of the family. So I am not going to talk any longer. Instead, I am going to turn it over to the screenshot and recording, and I am going to show you a few branches of the family tree. So, anyways, let's get into that. I'll see y'all or y'all will hear me in just a moment. So, we are going to look at a certain branch of the family. So I'm starting back here with me, and I'm going to lead y'all back through it here. Of course, we're going through my dad's side, and this is through his dad's side. Going back a ways, we're going to re-enter into a branch that we've talked about before. Margaret Cloud. Now, she was the son of David Cloud and Margaret Campbell. Um, Sometimes I get the impression that a lot of my family members did not have a whole lot of imagination. Uh, it's like, oh, here, this name works. Why don't we just name everybody that name? So, anyways, Margaret Cloud, and we're actually going to go through her mother, Margaret Campbell. And we're going to go back and look here a little bit. I think I had gone into this and shown you John Campbell, her dad, was born in Londonderry, Northern Ireland. So, I mean, we've got two generations now here born in Londonderry, because there's James Cloud and Margaret Campbell, and now John Campbell, her dad. And go to her mother. Give it a second. And where is she born? Ulster, Antrim, Northern Ireland, which basically that whole area up there is the Ulster area, and I think Antrim is actually the next county over. Um, I'm not familiar enough to remember for certain. So we have Grisella Hay, who was born in Ireland also. And so we go back another one. We're going to look at her mother, Catherine Gillis. Where was she born? Londonderry. So there we have another Londonderry connection. Her husband, Patrick Hay. Where was he born? Londonderry. So see, there's a lot of my family actually that was born there, because that is now from Margaret. That's one, two, three generations that have been born in Ireland. So it's like I got a bit of a root there. Now we're going to go back one more to Patrick's father, who was also a Patrick, but his name was a little different. Patrick Hay of Pitford. Apparently, um, apparently he was born in Scotland. So he came from Scotland. Let's say he was born 1630. And so he died in 1680 in Perthshire, Scotland. So he was still there in the whole Scottish thing. You know, he was born and died there. So his son, Patrick, who 1723 was born in Londonderry, that means most likely his mother was pregnant with him when she came to Ireland. So she was probably carrying him. She might have just barely been pregnant, because let's see, 1680, 1680 1650. Okay, maybe he stayed behind for some reason, or maybe he went back to Scotland. But whatever happened, he ended up dying in Scotland, and Patrick was born in Ireland. Now, I haven't been able to figure out yet who Patrick of Pitford. Let's see. Let's go back up here to the other one here. Patrick Hay of Pitford. I hadn't been able to make a good connection on who his wife was at the time of Patrick's birth, because there was two wives, and I'm still trying to figure out which was which. Um, you know, like I said, anything could have happened. You know, until I can get some more information, I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So I have another connection back to Scotland, because Patrick Hay of Pitford was born and died in Scotland. And when we come back over here to John Cloud, pull him up. I love the spinning wheel of death. Give it just a second. There it is. Scotland, United Kingdom. So he was born in Scotland, and he had one. Basically, it would have been like the generation before him, because see this line here from John Cloud over to Sophia Ulat, and then going across, I have one, two, three, four blank ones to Patrick Hay. That's all the same generation there. So Patrick of Pitford would have been like his father's age. So, like I said, there's just like one generation difference there. But all these others who were born in Ireland. So it's, like I said, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun to trace it all out. But I've got more stuff now that I can look into, a lot more things I can find out. I'm going to try and save the whole Scottish thing and look into that later. But if I'm going to need to go far enough to see if I can figure out who Patrick's mother was, and get that put in properly. Also, to the Campbell and the Reeds. Uh, I would like very much, before I make my trip, which I might have to do a lot more research, but I would like to find out more of where the Campbells and the Reeds, how far back their Irish roots go, because both of them. So you go back over here to Margaret, just for reference sake. Okay, actually, Margaret shows that she was born in Pennsylvania. I remember that now. It's been a while since I looked at her, and I had forgotten that. That's my fault. So find out where the Reed family, where they were from. But of course, John Campbell was Irish. So where does his Irish roots go? So, like I said, it'll be kind of interesting to figure it all out, to find everything and put all the pieces together. And yes, that loudness is kittens. all of a sudden they're waking up, which means I'm getting done with this at just the right time. So, anyways, I will go back to my live feed now. Thank you. Okay, so there we go. Kind of interesting, though, that it seems like a lot of my Irish roots are leading back into the other parts of the UK. I mean, it's like on this same branch here, they both had Scottish roots. They had children, in a case or two, grandchildren, great grandchildren born in Ireland, and they all ended up in America. So kind of it's kind of crazy to me, how all that works out. All the twists and turns. So that whole pinafore thing, I've got to do a little more research into that and try and figure that out. Well, that's what happens when I wake a sleeping kitty. He's waking mama up. Hopefully he won't cause too much problems there with mama. I think he's hungry. Babies. Yeah, he's got mama awake now. But anyway, so yeah, back to the thing there. So just I found it interesting that you know this it's almost like you start out in one country and you kind of round out, you come back in to the same country, and then you end up somewhere else. Of course, as I have discovered with some of my roots, I do have a very strong Scottish background, which I did not know until I started doing this research. I mean, my dad had talked about being Scotch-Irish, which was is a term that's used here in America, for someone who is part Scottish and part Irish. And of course, then again, when you stop and you think about the UK, and going from Ireland to Scotland to England to Wales, I mean, it's pretty much the same as over here in the United States, going from Texas to Louisiana to Mississippi, up to Tennessee, up even higher to Kentucky, going back. I mean, it's like the same thing, it's like living from one state to another. So it's kind of understandable how they would all connect in there together. How you know like I said, you just go from like Scotland to Ireland. I mean, it's like moving across a state line. And in the case of the main island, where they have Scotland and England and Wales, literally you just you can walk across a border. So like I said, I just doing a little bit more of a deep dive, and now I'm going to have to really get into the whole pit four thing, and find out what that's about, because uh you know there was actually a thing in there too with the coat of arms. Apparently, pit fours have a coat of arms. Is that like a title? Is it, like a name, like over here, trying to think, trying to think of what equivalent over here would be. Um, I don't think there is an American equivalent, at least nothing that I can pull up right at the moment. Someone else who might understand some of the stuff a little bit better, they might be able to tell me and to let me know. So if you're watching and you know something that's equivalent to Patrick Hay of Pit 4, let me know. Is would that be like like a regional area, like saying, uh, that's you know, oh, I'm trying to think. I can't even pull up names at the moment. I think I'm a little bit tired. No, it's like saying Johnny Cash of Arkansas. Johnny Cash was born in Arkansas. Is it like a regional name or something? Saying of someplace where someone's from. Like I said, I might have to do a little bit more research into that. Um, you know, I know I mentioned Wales. Maybe I need to do one on Scotland because now we've got let me see if I can pull it up on my phone here. Uh, that's one thing about having a couple of different devices. And it pulled out. Hold on. Yeah, I get so much fun information, by using a couple of different things. Let's see. Patrick Hay sometimes went by Peter, son of Patrick Hay of Pitford. See if that gets me anything new. My cord was stuck, had to move it. Of course, the birthplace didn't help any because didn't say anything about that. So maybe Pit 4 might be like a job description. Let's see. Says he's a father of James Hay of Pit 4. So apparently it might be like some kind of title thing that can be passed on. Um, yeah, so like I said, I'll have to kind of look because that's uh that's something that's kind of, yeah, shows here. Oh, never mind. That's for one of his kids. That's not for his dad. I expect. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Give me just a moment. Let me type something in here. Let's see. What does pit for mean? Okay. What does pit for mean? Um, Pit for a state. An estate. Wow. Okay. Pit for may refer to Pit for estate, a 18,150-acre estate in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. Okay, my jaw just dropped. The estate includes Pitford House and several farms. The estate was famous for its grouse. The 1895 records of the Clan Ferguson say that the name Pitford means cold croft. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Historian John Milne breaks the name into two parts, with pit meaning place and feor or fur meaning grass. So it'd be like the grassy place. So pit for castle. I have a castle in my history. Oh my word. I've got knights. I now have for certain here a castle. Pitford Castle, a castle in Perth in Kinross, Scotland. Pitford School and Pitford Lake, a lake in Scotland. Pitford may also refer to old maps that show the Pitford estate. Let's see, the Pitford estate being the seat of the Fergusons of Pitford. So apparently there's another family involved. So the Hay family might have preceded, because some of these states are saying 1800s, and this would have been like 15 and 1600s. Wow. Okay, I might need to make a little trip to Aberdeen, Scotland, and see Pitford Castle. The Pitford estate being famous for its grouse. Oh my. Yes, this is a very nice looking. Meaning of Pitford is given in the 1895 records of the Clan Ferguson. So, yeah, it's they're mentioning Ferguson here, which they might have been the last one to inhabit the place. So it might be a little bit interesting to find out more about this place. Hmm. because like I said, the my family's connection would have been a couple hundred years before, because the the relatives that I was looking at, they were like in the 1600s. And if we're going back a little bit further, might have been the 1500s, so 15, 1600s. And the picture that it's showing, I'll try and get the picture up of Pitford Estate. If my family is connecting into this, okay, now that's a bunch of ifs. They might have been called Pitford because maybe they worked for them. But of course also too, as what happens a lot of time, um, families lose power, another family takes over. So it might have been something like that. The Hay family might have been in charge, might have had control of, all of that. And then when, something might have happened, and it might have been part of the reason why part of the family came to Ireland. They might have been trying to escape. It might have been the few remnants of the family left, and they were trying to escape total massacre and came to Ireland to protect the family history and the family name. You know, I know when I was reading about John Cook, there was a thing that they had talked about the flight of the Earls. It might have been that around that same time is when the Hay family lost control. They might have been one of the Earls, because I also saw on there a like family crest. Hmm. Like it's interesting that all of it's connected together, and that basically you have um like I said, the different families, you know where they moved to, how they moved, the groupings of where they moved at. I mean, you had my Garrett family. Oh, I haven't gotten that far, have I? I just realized I haven't told y'all about all of that yet. Mm. That will wait for a little bit longer, because right now I'm trying to concentrate more on the Irish stuff. But the fact that my Irish roots now on basically the same branch are going back into Scotland. I mean, I'm falling back past the Irish part. So I mean, it's when my thing says it's like just a small amount of Irish. Apparently, it's because my family just kind of moved into and moved out of um, an equivalent. Whenever I was a kid, my parents moved us up to Oklahoma for about 6 months. So it's like we went from Texas up into Oklahoma, and then we came back down into Texas. So, I mean, like I said, it's something like that. Only thing is, they didn't go back to Scotland. They came over to America instead of going back into the Highlands or the Lowlands, or wherever it is that all that's from. I'm not that familiar with Scotland, so I can't say exactly. But I mean, I'm having Scottish roots now. Um, I am going to let y'all know. This is a little bit kind of a preview. Uh, Me and Kayla and a new friend of mine named Laura. She's a nice lady that I work with. Uh, we are planning on going back to the Celtic Festival. Um, and now that I'm knowing and understanding that I'm having connections back into the Scottish, you know, trees there, I might need to check that out a little bit more. Since my family seemed to skip from Scotland to Ireland quite a bit here, I might need to investigate that. Go and talk to someone, because if the Hay family was that big and prominent, that they had an almost 20,000 acre estate. That, like I said, this is all a bunch of ifs and maybes. because you know who knows exactly. I mean, I haven't got that deep into it, and I might wait to get that deep into it. So, Pitford Estate, all you need to know before you go with photos. Yeah, I might have to go to Scotland. I mean, oh my word, the things that I'm finding out in my family. It would be cool. It would be cool to find out that I had families that were earls. So, anyways, like I said, that's going to be something that I will investigate at a different time. Something that I will look into and uh, see what it's all about. See, what uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll get you more information. Okay, let's leave it at that. So, for the time being, um, y'all know it's fixing to come up, right? If you have watched me enough, you know that I need y'all to subscribe. If you haven't yet, okay, if you're following the link back, sometimes the link doesn't let you, um, do the whole subscribe thing. Sometimes you have to actually go into the channel itself. So, I mean, do that. If you've been having trouble, do that. Go into the channel itself, find the big red button, hit the subscribe button so that that way you can keep getting information. Um, once you've hit the subscribe button, of course, just make sure that the little bell notification has put in there, that you want to keep up with what's going on. So you got the bell notification. You know, I need a thumbs up. Oh, come on. I'm getting a few thumbs up, but I need some more. I need to know who all is enjoying it. I need to know if you're liking what you hear. So, like I said, nice thumbs up. Leave a comment. You know, uh, Maybe and understand some of this stuff better than what I do of what I'm saying. Because I'm still trying to figure it all out. I'm finding out all this interesting information. I'm still trying to figure everything out. So, like I said, leave me some information. Or if nothing else, maybe you have a resource. Send me the resource. Tell me where to go. Help me to expand my knowledge of my family a little bit more. And maybe when you do, if you leave a link in the comments, maybe it'll help someone else. Maybe someone else will be watching and they'll go through the comments and they'll go, oh, wait a minute, I could use that. And then they'll use it too. So you might not be only helping me, you might be helping someone else. So let's see, we've got the subscribe, bell, like, comment. Oh, yes. One other thing, my Facebook page. We are less than a year away, and I will be in Ireland. And like I said, I might have to. I've got so many places right now I want to go visit. I want to, I'm finding connections, more connections with Wales. I'm finding more people that have come from there, and now all this stuff that's coming from Scotland. So it's like Wales via or Scotland via Wales here, or what the direction is, and of course England. And as I discovered with Sophia, you know, uh, she was from France. I still want to know, how did she meet James? Did they meet, or was it James? No, it was James's father. James is their son. Um, I can't remember. I've got so many grandparents running through my mind right now. Sometimes it's a little hard to keep up with them. But how did Sophia meet her husband? Did they meet in Scotland? Uh, did she like go from France to Scotland? Did they meet there and they decide to come over to Ireland together? Or did I know her dad died in Ireland? So that means that he came with her, but her mother died in France. So apparently, Mama died. They came, Daddy and daughter came at some point, and whether they went through Scotland first or whether they just sailed straight around to Ireland, they got to Ireland. Uh, and I know that they at least had kids here because uh, James Cloud was born in Londonderry, and he had two younger brothers that were born there also. So before the family, of course, came to America. So I mean, like I said, she went from France to at the very least Ireland, and then over to America. So I mean, it's like I said, I've got all these connections here, and it's like, it's making this crazy web that I want to put together so bad. I want more backstories. I want to know how more of this stuff happened. How what happened with the Pit Four thing. I've now got that question running through my mind. What's going on with that? Oh, so many questions, so little time. So, anyways, like I said, go to Ireland Bound, um, and you know, I try to. I don't always succeed. I try to get as much of the information as I can over there, especially video links. Whenever I post a video, I try to put the links over there. And then I also interesting little things I find out about Ireland. You know, um, so anyways, like I said, I hope y'all will all join the in there. Go look at them. Join the channel. You know, follow my journey because next year I will be in Ireland and I plan on making so many videos. In fact, I'm going to have to buy a new phone with a new card so I'll have enough room for all the videos. Yeah, I know they're going to be saying, "Are you sure you want this big of a card?" Yes. It's like, what's the biggest card you can give me to put on the phone here? What's the biggest amount of memory we can shove into this tiny little phone? So, anyways, yeah, I plan on making a lot of videos. You know, so anyways, like I said, follow me on the trip, and let's see where my family is going to lead. For a while, uh, I wanted to kind of get back more into some of the family stories and some of the family pictures because I still have a lot of pictures. And there was one of the cousins that I got a hold of that is related through my grandmother's side that I told her I'd see if I could find pictures of her grandmother, Desi, who was my grandmother's sister. So I need to get those and get some pictures of Desi up. Uh, my grandmother had several other relatives. I know I put a few pictures of her sister Fern up. Um, and so, like I said, just find more of the family pictures and get them up there and let everybody see who all the family is. But anyways, that's it for right now. I will talk to everybody later, and y'all have a great week.